Hello guys, Ashley here, also known as the Ashley fan, back today with another review. I have decided that I want to talk about Cobra Kai. There are some things that I will talk about when it comes to the show. I want to rank the seasons. I want to give my opinion on some of the things I just don't like about the show. I want to talk about why I think the Johnny and Daniel bickering towards like seasons 4 and really 6 was really annoying. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, and today I'm doing a video on why a lot of people, well, I'm going to be reading a post off Reddit on this person saying why I don't like season 4, and I'm just going to give my opinion on what the takes are, because me personally, I really do enjoy season 4. But some of the things that she did right, I did agree with when it did come to the season, but me personally, I really did enjoy season 4, so this is going to just be a response to the Reddit post. But I feel like towards the end of the video, I'm going to just say why I really did enjoy it, because just like, we're like just in a defense, but like, I can do that in between. I'm trying to make it make sense, but pretty much, I'll read what she says and just see whether I agree with it or not agree with it, and I'll still give my opinion on what I liked about it, because I still really do enjoy this season. Like, I will defend this season. Me personally, I feel like seasons 4, 5, and 6 is when they decide to focus more on the adults and less on the teenagers, because I was just tired of seeing the same old mumbo jumbo with the teenagers. But that's not waste any more time. Let me start reading off this Reddit post. So, here is the first complaint that she has about the season. I feel that the Johnny and Daniel's partnership with Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do was pointless. Season 3 left off with Daniel and Johnny coming to a common understanding. They wanted what was best for their kids/students. In season 4, we see them butt heads over their own personal egos. This once again divides the pits and their students against each other. I feel like this was entirely unnecessary. We've already seen Daniel and Johnny fight to no end over their egos. This arc of them butting heads took up a large chunk of the storytelling in this season. It was entirely unnecessary. This is what she also wrote, but I'm gonna say my first opinion and then I'm gonna read the other ones. I've already made a video about this. Like, what was that? I think that was Tuesday when I made a video about that. Yes, I definitely think the Johnny and Daniel butting heads in season 4, episode 5 was really stupid. It was really dumb, and like I said in the video, I kind of hate that Daniel is the one who gets the blame for it, but maybe it's because the writers made him say, I'm going to take over the classes, so I can understand why people blame him. But you have to also understand that it wasn't just Daniel who wanted the karate to be his way. It was also Johnny. But somehow Daniel is the only one who takes the blame for it, which I think is entirely stupid and absurd. But, yeah, I think that entire storyline was just stupid. Only for them to come back together towards the end, it was just such a waste of time to me. It was so dumb. I definitely agree with everything that she was saying. It definitely just made the whole first half of the season, not even that, in the end of season 3, just like progress characters back to the same old repetitive plots, like I hate you, and it's just like, I'm kind of tired of that. Especially when we look at season 2 and 3, him and Johnny barely had any interactions in those seasons. Really, I feel like seasons 4 and like 6, I feel like seasons 1, 4, and 6 is when you saw the most of Johnny and Daniel, because in seasons 2 and 3, they were kind of doing their own thing. Really, Daniel was minding his business in season 2, Daniel was minding his own business in season 2 with Miyagi-Do. It was Johnny who got in the middle of Miyagi-Do after Daniel posted a video about creating a karate dojo, and he's the one who cracked his Valley View Fest. And Hawk was also, even though Johnny had nothing to do with it, Hawk is still one of his students at Cobra Kai, and Hawk crashed his dojo, and still the Medal of Honor. Which, that is something that I think she wrote in here about that being like Hawk's entire character shift being rushed, which I entirely agree with. But we're gonna get to it. That's what I mean. Like, that's gonna be something I talk about about some of the things I don't like about the show, is that a lot of the character shifts seems to happen just like whoosh, whoosh. It's ridiculous. But I definitely agree with her. I definitely feel like the whole Johnny and Daniel bickering this season was entirely useless and just so pointless and so dumb. especially when you watch episode 2, they both came to terms with the fact that they both teach different karate, and they literally both just said in that episode, in episode 2, season 4, that it's very valuable and they can use it. So why the hell in season 5 are the writers having them digress back to where they were in the beginning? It's so dumb. But let's get on to her other reasons. So, but yeah, I agree with her. The Johnny and Daniel thing was dumb. I feel like this was, she wrote like a little side comment. I feel that more development could have been given to the students in their chemistry with each other when trying to learn Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang. This season should have been about balance, yet it ends with everyone entirely out of balance. I agree with her on that, and that's because of the whole stupid Johnny and Daniel thing. We never really get a chance, but that's not true, because you actually do see the kids learn both, but I feel like there was no balancing on learning how to use both without Johnny and Daniel butting heads. And they do this storyline again in season 5, which really pissed me off, which is why I cannot really get to the victory video about them. Oh my god. That episode of season 5 really ticked me off because, like, it was so dumb. Like, it felt like the season 4 episode all over again in that season 5 episode. It was so stupid. But I definitely agree with her. It would have been more interesting and more viable to see them both come to terms with the karate that they're teaching and learn how to balance it instead of not doing that. It was just dumb. Here's another thing that she wrote. So we're done with the Johnny and Daniel one. I definitely agree with that. I can't even defend that in season 4. It was just entirely stupid. I also think Johnny opening up another Eagle Fang, him coming up with Eagle Fang was such a pointless. It was so pointless and so stupid and so dumb. And that entire thing just felt like a comedy. That just felt like a whole sitcom plot, in my opinion. It was so ridiculous how he wanted to do it. Okay. Tori's arc with Amanda, added a lot more compassion and empathy to both characters. This is the main adult/student dynamic in the season that felt good. Amanda giving her backstory of being a troubled youth imbalances her character because we never see her reflect through. Amanda helping Tori was really well done. Seeing Robbie and Tori get their moments and come together to prom was well deserved, and it felt as good as Miguel and Sam in season 1. I don't care for Robbie and Tori being a couple. Well, I will agree with her on that. As much as I don't care about Amanda, I will say that her being there and trying to help Tori and like give her a second chance, that just because she picked that fight, you don't really know what she's dealing with. And I think it's also very important to understand what someone is dealing with. That doesn't excuse her actions, but for her to agree to leave Sam alone and to come back to school and to leave Sam alone to get her education and become something of herself was very empowering. And to see that Amanda was going to help her get there, I really did like that. But Sam again had to try to go pick a fight, and she did pick it at the prom. At the house, she picked the fight by saying, "You want everything that I have. You want my parents, you want Robbie, you want Miguel." She's like, "Well, I got a half-eaten cupcake in the refrigerator if you want that too." Like she said, "I promised your mom that I wouldn't kick your ass, but you're making it very hard." And like Sam just had to ruin it. Her character does not suffer any repercussions. She takes zero accountability in her actions. I cannot stand Sam. She's annoying, like really, really irritating. I would agree there. As for the adult and children dynamics, I definitely feel like the show lacks that. I feel like Johnny, the only real dynamic he had was with Miguel and Robbie. What about him and Sam? Oh no, Johnny. I would say Johnny, Miguel, Robbie, and Devin. I thought him and Sam were having a dynamic, and they kind of just pushed that away. And for Daniel, they said fuck that. The only dynamic he get with somebody is with Sam. That's it. The only person he can vibe with as a child and help guide them is just Sam. What have they pushed him and Robbie back? They forgot about him and Miguel, and they forgot about him and Hawk, and him and Dimitri. All of that was pushed back, as if we didn't see Daniel vibe with these kids and try to help them. I actually did like him and Dimitri. You know, him try to help Dimitri be a little bit more tough and fight back, and just like, come on, fight for yourself, fight back, like. And then Dimitri, like, actually learning the lessons that he was taught in the school fight. Like, they forgot about all these dynamics as soon as the season went up. So I agree with her. It kind of just felt like it was interesting to see the Amanda and Tori one, and that kind of didn't go anywhere after season 4, in my opinion. I don't remember it going anywhere in season 5 or 6. So it was nice seeing that. It was nice seeing somebody stick up for Tori, is what I would say, and give her a second chance. But I agree. The adult and children dynamics in the show, I feel like outside of Johnny, no one else gets a chance to really guide the kids. And the Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do students were done dirty this season. I don't even know what that means. Like, if she mean Miyagi-Do, I will say that it is bullshit that Sam did not win at the end of season 4, because when I said in my season 4 review that I felt like they were holding back in that fight, I actually rewatched it, and I actually thought it was a good fight. I feel like Sam should have won, because if you think about it, it just made a lot of sense for Sam to win, because I understand what the writers were doing by having Cobra Kai win and having Daniel and them overcome the odds. But if you watch season 5, that whole plot line is really like useless, because in episode 8, I believe, they tell the guy who is running the Saikai Taikai that they are also a karate dojo. So it kind of made our whole plot line kind of useless, because, like, I don't know. I mean, they kept it interesting in, like, the first 6 episodes with nobody teaching any karate outside of Cobra Kai. But when you think about how easy it was for Daniel and them to just come back into karate after not doing it, it's like, what's the point of the storyline? So yeah, I would say that as Eagle Fang, I didn't care about Devin. Devin was really an annoying adjustment to the season, in my opinion. Her and Kenny, which Kenny is in here, and I'm gonna get to him. But yeah, I definitely think I love the fact that Hawk won. I definitely think Hawk deserved a trophy. If they would have had a tournament in season 3, then there's no doubt in my mind that Hawk would have won, because I feel like, why didn't he win it? In season 3, I definitely feel like it sucks that Robbie didn't win a single championship in the show, because I honestly really do like Robbie. I like him more than I like Miguel, honestly. And like, I definitely feel like season 3 and 4 was when Robbie, he had like a character shift, and like, it made sense for him to win in season 4 over Hawk. But I really do love Hawk. Like, I absolutely love Hawk as a character. So it's just hard. But I feel like between Sam and Tori, I definitely feel like Sam should have won, because much as I don't like Sam, that entire moment with her rethinking about all the time, all the things Tori did to her, I feel like that was just like a comeback moment for her, and it would have been nice for her to get the championship. And much as I feel like after everything after the school fight, I do feel like Sam did start, which is really, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's just really hard to vibe with her character and to take that, oh, I'm coming back to fight back moment seriously, when everything after that school fight, she started. She started the fight in the golf and stuff. She started the fight at the house by tweeting that Cobra Kai is going down tonight. She started the fight in season 4 at the prom. Like, she kind of started all the fights. The only fight I could think that she didn't start was the school fight. Even though her actions did set things in motion, she didn't attack Tori. In the fight at the mall in season 2, her or Robbie did not start that. That was all Cobra Kai. But I feel like Sam not being willing to leave it alone is what kept it going. So it's just hard. But I still feel like on some Sam should have won. But if that's what she mean by they were done dirty, then I would agree with that on some capacity. But on to the next statement. Miguel is a Karate Kid of this series. This has been established in previous seasons despite the juggling of different characters. He is a guy, he is the new Daniel, he and Johnny have been through a lot. We've seen the dynamic grow and mold into the best student teacher duo in the series. In season 4, Miguel felt non-existent. He felt like a background character to his own story, and his relationship with Daniel felt like a plot device to further essence the hatred Daniel and Johnny share, Miguel had a few great moments with Johnny, one being the skipping school scene, the other being the scene where Miguel discovers Johnny's drunk and Johnny calls him Robbie. Those were two great scenes that added more depth to the dynamic. Unfortunately, Miguel suffers from being one-note character this season. His greatest strength is being the compassionate, understanding, and empathetic character. Johnny helped him walking in. He should understand Johnny's concerns and perspectives. Hope more ever. Johnny and Daniel treating I keep saying that. Johnny and Miguel treating each other different because of Johnny and Carmen being a couple feels extremely undercooked and unrealistic. I don't care about that. I feel that Miguel already criticized Johnny as a father figure in previous seasons. Recognize what's going on. Recognize Johnny. They should not have a conflict in interest this season. This makes just about as much sense as they having beef with Miss Miyagi, you can say. Why couldn't they just communicate their concerns and viewpoints as in previous seasons? In a season filled with conflict, Johnny and Miguel's conflict should have never existed. Okay, so I want to get to everything else. Her talk about the whole Miguel and Johnny thing about, I'm going to start there first. Miguel being upset about Johnny accidentally calling him Robbie. That was stupid. The whole Miguel fighting his daddy thing, that plot line was so dumb. And the reason it is to me is because it didn't make any sense for Miguel to not believe once that Johnny was a father figure to him. And I can understand that you say if you are somebody who didn't grow up with a father, I think a part of you still wants to know what it would be like to know who your real father is. I can understand that. I can't really speak from terms of knowing because my dad is in my life. Not trying to throw a jab at anybody whose father isn't, but I'm just saying the reason why I think it's just stupid is because he's had a father figure. But I could also understand with wanting to know who your real father is. It just made the whole dad plot seem even more useless to me by having Johnny just say, I love you too, Robbie, to Miguel. It just made it seem like, really? Like, it just made it seem more like stupid and just like a waste of time. But Miguel being mad at Johnny and Carmen dating, I don't care about that. I don't care about Johnny and Carmen's relationship. I can really care less about that. I'm happy that Johnny got a chance to have a real family. It's very predictable that it would be Carmen because he has a relationship with Miguel. I could have seen that from watching season 1 that they're gonna do something. This is way too predictable. But I don't care. I don't care relationship. I don't care about it. I don't care. The fact that they got a whole side plot in season 5 about a pregnancy test is absurd to me. Really, really absurd. But yeah. Okay, I also want to talk about her saying that Miguel should have not been mad about Johnny being concerned about his well-being. Well, you have to also understand this too. Why would Johnny put him in a tournament if he was concerned about Miguel's well-being to do karate? On some extent, it just seems kind of selfish to be concerned but still have him do it. Even though Miguel is his own person, he can make his own decisions, but it's still like if you have that feeling in your gut, then you should go with it. You shouldn't tell him to still do it because that's what he wants to do. I feel like if somebody just came out of a paralyzing situation, I don't think it's a good idea for them to do karate. I think it was stupid for Miguel to go back to it in the first place, in my opinion. Ava talk about Miguel just deciding to walk off and not do karate was stupid. Me personally, I feel like it was about time that we know Miguel outside of being with Sam and doing karate. Because I feel like I don't know Miguel anymore as a character. I feel like he is so far, when I watch the show, that he's so far away from where he was in the first season. He was such a lovable kid, and he was such an underdog and like easily to root for. Not saying that he's not easy to root for, because he's still sweet and very compassionate and understanding, but like his lack of storylines, Miguel's lack of an interesting plot line is what annoys me. He doesn't really get anything that I ever really cared about outside of season 1. him being paralyzed. I feel like that could have been so interesting if it wasn't so rushed. Like, all of the moments did seem rushed. Like, it didn't seem emotional. Like, it didn't seem emotional that he finally got his ability back. Like, that happened in a span of, like, 2 episodes. Like, I am not lying to y'all. That happened in a span of 2 episodes. Like, he's walking fine. He's not wobbling. Like, nothing. Nothing. It was absurd to me how fast Miguel was willing to get back on his feet. Just really absurd. I feel like him leaving at the end of season 4 because he needed to understand who he is outside of karate, I feel like was a great idea. But having the storyline on him going there to find his father, I didn't like. I would have much preferred Miguel would have went down there to clear his head and try to figure out what he wants outside of karate. There were so many things to do with Miguel, and I feel like the show just chose not to do it, in my opinion. But I want to get to her saying that Miguel felt like a non-existent character in season 4 because she's not lying. They chose characters like Kenny and Anthony over Miguel, which, oh my god, I cannot wait for her to talk about that because that was stupid. That was so dumb. Like I said, why are you introducing new characters when you haven't done anything with the ones that you have here? You haven't done anything with people like Sam or Tori, really, and like even Chosen. He didn't really get no storyline of his own outside of being Daniel's friend, which I really do like. I really love their dynamic. I really do love it. They never really have a falling out. They always can talk to each other. There's never no bickering. Like, it's just a normal friendship. Finally, unlike him and Johnny, when like it's just always like, I hate you, we're friends again. Oh no, I hate you. Oh no, we're friends again. Like, it's just so annoying with him and Johnny. Like, I can't think of a time where the friendship was normal. Actually, no, the friendship was normal in season 6. They've had their little meaner, like minor bickering, but like it wasn't as extreme as it was in like in the first 3 seasons. The bickering made sense, but I feel like after that it was time to leave it alone, let it lie. It's like it's getting so boring at this point. Like, the bickering is getting very boring. The reason why I chose this post over the other one is because this girl has 2 posts about why she don't like season 4, and I chose this one because it had more points in it than the other ones. I was just trying really hard yesterday to find which one was going to have the most stuff, and she had more points in it, so I chose this one. But yes, Miguel was really non-existent. They really did choose other characters over him to do something with, which I'm low-key not mad at, because Miguel, he was here in the first 3 seasons, and the writers really didn't do much with him. So I feel like it was just time to like give other characters a time to shine and just to do something, because he really was here in the first 2 seasons and he really didn't do much outside of his season 1 stuff. Like, I absolutely love season 1 Miguel, but season 2 Miguel, I don't like. Season 3 Miguel, he's kind of just there. I do like him and Johnny's dynamic in season 3. That was probably, even as like I said, as much as I do think Johnny being a physical therapist was absurd because he doesn't have a physical therapist license. I can understand him wanting to help Miguel get him back on track, but like, that didn't make sense to me. But I love the fact they were reunited again, because in season 2 the relationship just seemed like it took 10 steps back. But yeah, I understand when people are upset about Miguel being a non-existent character because he is a fan favorite. I love Miguel too, but I think it was just time to focus on other people because he wasn't really doing it for me. So we're gonna move on. I definitely can understand where she's coming from, but on some extent I'm just like, hey, Miguel was here, he didn't really do much. It's time to focus on other people, man. So, her next point. Sam's character has always been a point of construction in the series. In season 3, we finally saw her depth and mature through trauma. Matured? Sam matured in season 3? Did you watch the same season? Anyway, we're going to move on. We finally saw her develop and mature through trauma. However, in season 4, she reverts back to the bratty rich girl who gets everything she wants. Her training with Johnny felt undercooked. She defeated Johnny's teaching, treated him like a garbage, jumped off a building, and got everything she wanted. This felt extremely forced and added nothing to Sam's character. Coupled with the fact that she gives Tori a hard time at her place of work, Sam came off as immature and petty. I don't like Sam. Yeah, I get that too. Even though, yeah, I can understand that too. Like, I thought her and Johnny were having a dynamic, but when you get to the episode at the end of season 9 and 10 of season 4, she said Johnny tells Daniel that they've been training alone together, but yet you don't see any of that on screen. Nothing outside the fact when he tried to have them jump off a building to see what they to train them. She went off of him and called him a loser, and she said, "You even have your life figured out, so how you gonna tell me how to live my life?" Like, that to me was just being disrespectful. Like, that's being hella disrespectful. Like, it's different when Robbie does it because he expects that from Robbie. He expects Robbie to say that, even though I think that's a little bit extreme because, like, at the end of the day, Johnny still is his dad. Why do I keep saying Daniel? Johnny is still Robbie's dad. But for her to go off on him just because he wanted her to jump over a ledge is a bit ridiculous, which I can understand. This is my life. You're not going to play with my life. But, like, I just feel like she went a little bit hard on him. I definitely agree. Sam was definitely immature in this season. I just didn't like Sam. Like, her talking about she matured through her trauma. I'm not sure about mature, but, like, her whole PTSD thing, that was also very rushed. That, again, I didn't feel any of the emotion in it. I did like the fact that she did start to fight back against Tori, yes, but I'm sorry, I can't vibe with Sam, which is why I'm saying that her winning at the end of season 4 is iffy to me. But I still feel like she deserved to win it because on some extent Tori did give her PTSD, and Sam was on some extent afraid to fight back. So it would have been nice to see her win at the end of all of it. But Sam as a character, I don't like. I can't vibe with her. I'm sorry. She wasn't annoying in the first season, but I feel like 2 and onward, she was just annoying. Like, just really, really annoying. I couldn't get with Sam. Now, on to the next one, because y'all know I am a Daniel apologist. I am a Daniel defender. And I absolutely love Daniel. Not saying that I agree with the era of his ways or anything like that, but, like, I love Ralph Macchio, and I love the Karate Kid films. So, like, I just have such a huge attachment to him. Like, you ever just feel that way about certain characters? Like, you watched it and it's like, oh, come on. No way would a character like that would he act like that? Like, you can tell when a character is not being themselves. So that's why I'm not so hard on certain characters that I like, because you know when it's not them being themselves, they're acting out of character, and it makes you even more frustrated. So the next take is about Daniel. So let me get in the mood for this. The next take. Daniel was terrible in this season. It seems that he still does not understand Miyagi's teachings as an adult. His entire motive is to destroy Cobra Kai. Not once in this season did Kreese or Silver strike first and threaten Daniel, yet he was on the crusade. Kreese actually was in the wrong season 3. Fast forward to season 4. Silver apologized to Daniel on behalf of himself and Cobra Kai. Hold on, let me get this straight. Hold on. Let's focus on that. Let's hold on that. So she thinks Daniel is terrible in this season because he wants to get back at the person who tortured him. Did you watch Karate Kid 3? If you watched Cobra Kai, did you see Karate Kid 3? I feel like Cobra Kai seasons 4, 5, and 6 fixed Karate Kid 3 and that whole terrible writing of the film. I feel like seasons 4, 5, and 6 definitely fixed what Karate Kid 3 ruined, in my opinion. I feel like Daniel, the trauma that he went through with Terry Silver was not talked about enough for me in the show. It really sucked that Amanda didn't really understand where he was coming from. Like, I think someone said that why didn't she divorce Daniel already because he's so obsessed with karate. And it's like, y'all don't understand. Like, he was bullied by Johnny. Like, she didn't, I feel like Amanda just never seemed to understand where he was coming from with why he was doing this, why he was doing that. I understand you could be the bigger person, but it's like, dude, did you not understand anything I just told you about what they did to me? Terry Silver groomed him and lured him into Cobra Kai just to mentally and physically abuse him. And yet, he's a terrible person for wanting payback. You don't forget something like that. You don't forget. How would you feel if you had a karate trainer have you bruise your hand on fucking cardboard? I don't think it was cardboard, but I think it was like hardwood. How would you feel about that? How would you feel about if somebody made you sweep your leg and almost sprain your ankle from sweeping goddamn hard ass wood? You want to be bitter about that? You want to hold a grudge about that? That someone made you believe that they were trying to help you train for karate, but what they really wanted to do was mentally and physically break you down. What? How does anybody forget anything like that? That's absurd to me. So to say that Daniel is terrible because he wants to get back at Terry Silver, are you fucking kidding me? Daniel deserves to get his get back. After what Terry Silver did to him, stop it. And knowing that he was behind all the fights with Mike Barnes, come on. Like Terry Silver, he got to run that. He has to run it. Like, that's stupid to me to say that. And his apology, you mean his fake apology? His manipulative gaslighting apology that he did to Daniel? Please, stop it. I don't agree with her on this one. I'm like, girl, you better stop. The one thing I will agree with her on, and that's something that I feel like had a problem with in the first season, is that Daniel forgets everything that Miss Miyagi taught him in the first 3 movies, which I thought was like stupid a little bit. When I go back and watch season 1, it's like, huh? He forgets about everything that he was taught about balance and wax on and wax off and the trees and all of it. Like, he forgets all of it. I feel like it shouldn't take for Daniel to go back to his grave and find who he was again. It should already be there, in my opinion. I absolutely love the moment in season 5 when he talks to his grave and they show the flashback when he say, balance for a whole life. I absolutely love that. I love the flashbacks between him and Miyagi in the show. Because to me, him and Miyagi their dynamic is the bread and butter of the Karate Kid films, to me. A lot of my favorite moments with them are in the first 2 movies. Not really a lot in the 3rd movie. I like the one about the tree. I like the one in Karate Kid 3. Don't make me go track, but I like the one when he's talking about one day he do karate his own way. And I like when he said, when Daniel said, I can't get up this Miyagi, I'm too afraid. He said, never lose to fear. He said, it's okay to be afraid, but he said, never ever lose to fear. I love that. I absolutely love that in the 3rd movie. But a lot of my favorite moments with them are in the first 2. But it didn't make sense. Like, I feel like in the first season they were trying to essentially make you think that Daniel is, like I said in my rant, that he's just like this snooty rich snob now who's forgot everything that he's learned. Like, he's kind of lost how to be humble and he's kind of lost his balance, which I think is absurd because, like, you would think that he would take what Miyagi taught him through his whole life. But anyway, that's something that I will discuss in something I didn't like with the show about people about trying to figure out who's the real villain between him and Johnny, which I think is really absurd to me because as much as I do feel like Johnny was in the wrong when it came to the Karate Kid films, I still feel like they're trying to make you choose a side, like one over the other, basically, and I don't like that. But yeah, definitely. Daniel forgetting what Miss Miyagi taught him is so stupid. It's so dumb. It's like the show forgets about it. But let's go on to what else she wrote here. Daniel still provokes and seeks to fight Cobra Kai, despite Silver increased taking the Miyagi approach and asking for a silence prior to the tournament. One of my favorite quotes from Miyagi is, for a man with no forgiveness in his heart, life was worse punishment than death. Daniel has become that man. However, he has been an awful teacher since the series began. What? An awful teacher? I disagree. Like I just said, how do you expect him to forgive somebody who isn't really being sincere about what they did. Terry Silver was not sorry about what he did to Daniel. I think this is because this is a season 4. This is her season 4 post. I don't know what she thought about season 5. I might have to see if she has one about season 5. But you can tell, like, Daniel taking everything that Terry Silver said to him, the 3 Ds, desire, devotion, and what was the other one? Damn, I forgot it in Karate Kid. But when his little, like, a man can't see, he can't fight. A man can't stand, he can't fight. Daniel taking everything that Terry Silver taught him and using it and finally coming to peace with it, I absolutely love that. For her to say he's been a terrible teacher since the first season, that's absurd to me. Because Daniel helped so many kids. So many kids. And to say that he did nothing, that makes no sense. Why should he be the one who has to forgive when Terry Silver mentally and physically physically and mentally tortured him? That makes like no sense to me. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this. I don't care about John Kreese, so we're gonna skip that one. I think the writers and the creators need to get out of the habit of making the returning Cobra Kai sensei the big bad. Just because Terry takes over Cobra Kai and frames Kreese for almost killing Stingray does not mean that I suddenly feel for Kreese, nor does it mean that Kreese is a good guy. Kreese is the emperor of whatever that means. He's a guy pulling all the strings. That's it. The creators established this with this season 3 finale. It did not register and make Silver the guy. Silver honestly brought sense to the Cobra Kai way. If anything, he's been the best sensei the entire season. I don't know how to respond to that because, like, I don't care about John Kreese. We'll move on. I don't really care. Here we are. We'll talk about Kenny now. We're almost towards the end, so we'll talk about Kenny. I think Kenny is this is what she said. I think Kenny is a great addition to the series. I have seen posts in which people consider Kenny the bully by the end, but I firmly disagree. Anthony had it coming. Anthony catfished, bullied, and tried to hurt and humiliate Kenny. At the end, Kenny finally received his justice. Kenny has so much room for growth and development, but he reminds me of Miguel season 1 with Robbie being his Johnny, and I love Kenny. Okay, so on to the Kenny thing. I absolutely hate Kenny. I think, to me, and I think I saw someone posted on Reddit that he was a token black character. And I'll tell you why. Because they had no black characters in the show, and I feel like they put him in here because they didn't want to be seen like a racist show. You know, people always do this. You know, a white show, gotta put if you put a black person in there, people won't think you're racist. Do I think Kenny? I would say on some extent the storyline Kenny had. I just don't care about Anthony. Like, I wish the storyline didn't resolve around Anthony, and I feel like they only did that was because they wanted the writers wanted to remind us that Daniel and Amanda have another kid outside of Sam, and like the punishment they gave to Anthony about bullying him, really punishment, him sitting in his room, that is such a white person punishment. Honestly. Like, this whooping your kid not exist when it comes to white shows. I feel like a belt to the ass is a justified punishment. Like, I understand people are so afraid to discipline their kids now because of child abuse, but I feel like that, to me, that's not child abuse. I feel like getting disciplined for doing something that's bad. I got whoopings when I was a kid. Like, it don't make sense to me why something like that is extreme as bullying. That is like, if you're not going to whip your kid, then I feel like there should be, like, you're going to be doing community service. You're going to see how it really feels to not want to do things your way. You want to stay home and enjoy the pool and be in your game. You're going to get a job. You're going to, like, I would say they should have, I feel like the punishment should have been more effusive because it really wasn't, like, Daniel just and Amanda having him go to his room, like, it wasn't really nothing. I mean, the chore stuff, okay, that's like something, but I feel like it wasn't enough. And that too, the only reason I think a lot of people feel like that is because Kenny is black and Anthony is white. So there's already like a neck turning situation when it comes to that, which I don't have a problem with because I feel like it shouldn't matter who's bullying who. Like, would it matter if it was a black kid? Like, it matters to me. I feel like bullying is bullying. me personally, I just don't care about Kenny. Like, I understand what they were doing with the storyline. I just don't care about Anthony. If somebody else would have been doing this to Kenny outside of Anthony, I probably would have enjoyed the storyline a little bit more. And I want to say Kenny necessarily became a bully. I think he was just finally learning how to stand up for himself, like, and not take the bullshit. And I definitely think that's important. But it's one thing to, I can understand him wanting revenge in the beginning, but I feel like in season 4 they kind of overdid it by them just randomly beating up Anthony for no reason when he's minding his own business. But I can understand him at first wanting to kick Anthony's ass when he saw him. Like, I can understand, like, I didn't really understand where he's coming from. You taking the side of the kid who bullied me and made my life hell, and I came to you and told you about it. It just seems like betrayal, and I totally get it. But for me, I feel like Kenny was just a waste of a character because I don't care about him. I still feel like even though he was here in seasons 4, 5, and 6, I never really saw enough development to care. Outside of him being a really good fighter, I felt like I just didn't care about Kenny. I really didn't care, and I think the whole bullying plot line is so repetitive and so rehashed. It's like, it was interesting in season 1 with Miguel. It made a lot of sense with Miguel. I feel like for them to bring it back in season 4 is just so repetitive and lame. They could have just kept the storyline with Kenny being related to the boy, his brother in prison. Like, I would have liked that a lot more with him having, maybe him going a connection with Robbie. Like, it didn't need to be a bullying plot line with Kenny. I don't know. I feel like everything involving Kenny and Anthony in season 4 was the worst part of season 4. Absolutely the worst part. Because I didn't care. Anthony has always just existed. I don't care about Anthony. But when Daniel broke his game and said, you're going to start listening to us and start doing things that we want, do you understand? I was like, yes, it's about fucking time. If they start taking it so damn soft on their kids, that's what their kids think they could do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and just do whatever the fuck they want. Because I don't think Amanda and Daniel, I think they love their kids a lot, and it's okay to raise your kids to have their own mind and have their own opinion. But there's a difference between disrespect and voicing that. And I feel with their kids, it was always disrespect. I definitely feel like Sam got disrespectful a lot of times when it should have been punishment. It should have been a lot of punishment. I think there was a point where Anthony said, she said, it was, I remember when Sam woke up and she was like, they asked her something. I can't remember what the fuck they asked her, but Anthony, he said, I know if I would have said that, I would have got punished. And I remember just like dying out laughing because I'm really like, yeah, Sam really don't suffer no repercussions for her actions. None. I don't think Sam ever got in trouble for half the shit that she did. For the fights that she started, the things that she done, I don't think she suffered any repercussions. Like I said in my season 4 episode 5 video, when she went off on Daniel like that, that blew the fuck out of me. I really wanted to just be like, I'm a hitter. I'm a hitter for you, Daniel, because I cannot stand Samantha. I cannot stand Sam. And it just feel like, why they have to turn her so annoying? Like, she wasn't an interesting character in season 1. Like, she didn't really have much development outside. I feel like Sam was supposed to be like the Allie to Miguel. A very basic girl he has a crush on. But them revealing that Sam knows karate was something different from Allie, but I still feel like Sam, her presence, her as a person, I just don't understand why anybody would want to date her, to be honest. But I disagree. I think the whole Kenny and Anthony thing, they were the absolute worst parts of season 4. I hated it because I feel like the whole bullying thing was just so repetitive and lame. On to the next point. I like Terry Silver. There's no point in reading this because I really do like Terry Silver as a villain. I enjoyed him from top to bottom. I can definitely understand the whole like karate wants to take over the world thing. It's like a little bit cartoonish. But to me, like me and my sister and I were talking about this not long ago. She said she really felt like it was just about his obsession with Daniel, which was obviously true. He really had like no real reason to want to do any of this outside of just wanting to hurt Daniel and just like his obsession with him. That's really what it was all about, really, was just his obsession with Daniel. And I feel like it was all about if Daniel had the courtesy to stand up to him and fight him. And I really think that's what Terry wanted, was to see how far can he go to make Daniel break and fight back, in my opinion. I think that's what it really was all about. She didn't like the tournament. The tournament was extremely weak. I think the new rules are necessary addition. I like the tournament, so I'm not able to get into that. So the whole girl and boy thing, yeah, I like the fact they introduced the girls because it's not just a whole dojo full of guys. I like that too. Okay, so she said some people were cheated out of the tournament. To see Miguel versus Eli. I would have looked forward to Miguel versus Eli. I probably would have enjoyed that because they were friends, which I feel like that friendship kind of took like 10 steps back after like season 1 and 2. Miguel quitting at the last moment felt very out of character, and I just mentioned that I don't think so. I think Miguel really needed to find out who he was outside of karate. Johnny's speech to Miguel about winning felt out of character. I agree. For Johnny to like want Miguel to come back into the tournament after he just really just sprained his back, I didn't like that. I really didn't like that he wanted him to just like go back into the tournament as if he didn't just like dislocate his back. I agree. That was a little out of character. It seemed a little kind of selfish to Johnny to ask him to go back in there. Even though I understand that Miguel is like his best fighter, it just is like just hang up the hat. Obviously, you need to find somebody else who's gonna take over the ranks. Robbie not winning was disappointing. I somewhat agree. I definitely think Robbie deserved an award. His character really went through a really good shift to me, and I feel like it would have been nice to see him get rewarded for that. If any character has taken a back seat, it was Eli, especially after they cut his hair. I think a good character moment was when he would have stuck to his gut and said, "I karate for a bit." I think this would have been a probable consequence to his actions in previous seasons, destroying Miyagi-Do, stealing his medal, and breaking Dimitri's arm instead of Eli's triumphs for no rhythm or reason. Even though that sudden death fight was badass, Robbie should have won. This could have also built to a season 6 fight between he and Miguel, in which they were both all Valley champions. I also would have preferred if Robbie beat Miguel in the finals so that their records are 1-1. Feels the main rivalry of this season is Robbie versus Miguel. The Hawk thing. I definitely think Hawk. That's why I asked for so long. She got another post right here, so I'm gonna read all this. I feel like did the boy Jacob do something? Like, did he do something to one of the creators? Because why did Hawk's character take such a back seat in season 4? In season 4, 5, and 6, Hawk did nothing, and he's a fan favorite. I absolutely love Hawk. I love Hawk. I do. I would say my favorite characters in the show are Hawk, Daniel, Johnny. I do love Miguel. Actually, I would say Robbie. I would say Miguel. I would say Robbie, Miguel, and I would say Terry Silver. Those, and I like Tori, and I'll put Tori there too. I do like Tori. I'll say them. But like, yeah, then that's when that character shift towards the end of season 3 with Hawk was so rushed and so stupid to me, because they all Cobra Kai students really came there and responded to the post that Sam made. So why would you come here and fight if this is not what you wanted to do? Like, I know that he didn't want to break Dimitri's arm, because if you watch that fight in season 3, you can tell he didn't want to do it, but he kind of had to because he needed to prove a point. And I understand nothing wrong with him feeling remorseful about doing that to Dimitri, because Dimitri is somebody that he once did care about. But I don't know. I just like Hawk. It would have been nice for him to just sit back and try to understand a lot of his actions, and like maybe this is his consequence for his actions. And I definitely agree. There was never no talk about him he never once told Daniel that he crashed it, that it was him who messed up Miyagi-Do, that he stole the Medal of Honor. He never once told Daniel about any of this. They kind of never once mentioned this again after Hawk told Miguel about this in season 2. There was never no talk about any of this. Like I said, it was kind of weird that it was just never mentioned. It was very weird to me that all of it was just put to the side. It was stupid. It was really dumb. But I definitely feel like Hawk, they did nothing with it. And then him losing to Kenny in season 4, are you joking? Are you joking? How? I'm going to be mad. Because in Karate Kid, Johnny did lose to Daniel, even though Daniel was training for 6 weeks. But that was only because Johnny wasn't fighting for the right reasons. He was fighting for revenge and over a girl that neither one of them ended up with. Like, literally. Neither one of them ended up with Allie, and yet they fought. They were going to fight to the death for this. And, like, but Johnny was not fighting for the right reasons in the first movie, but I feel like Hawk was fighting for all the right reasons. It doesn't make sense to me that someone like Kenny, who doesn't look like an opposable threat, would take down. Kenny developed that killer streak in him. Did he develop that aggressiveness and doing whatever it takes to win? Yes, but it just seemed like laughable punishment to have Hawk lose like that. It just seemed like a joke to me. And I didn't fucks with that. But, Hawk did make up for it by being Robbie, so, I mean, like, it is what it is, but that, I just couldn't get the taste out of my mouth of him losing to Kenny. That was, like, laughably bad. That is really all of her points, but she does have one thing in closing, and after that, I'm going to express why I still like season 3. Season 3. All the points that she low-key made here, I agree with some of them, not all of them. And after I get done reading her overall point, I'm just going to say why I do love season 4. Why I love it, and, like, to me, is honestly one of the best seasons to me. But let me read her overall opinion. Overall, I did not hate. She said she did not hate the season, but I didn't love it. Like I did other seasons. This was a relatively dull season in comparison. There was some awesome moments, like seeing Aisha return, Silver, Johnny fighting, and seeing Chosen in the finale. Even though I hate the concept of him fighting Daniel's battles, additionally there was some great characters such as Kenny and Devin. I disagree. I also think that Anthony has a lot of potential for future series. No. Silver is also great of his own. However, the development and storytelling for his original cast came out of a messy and muddled. There was too much going on in season, and a majority felt like inconsistently filler. I mean, that's always been a Cobra Kai issue. That there would be sometimes in the episode there'll be like 1 or 2 good plots happening, and then everything else would just be filler. Filler. Like once in a blue moon, you'll get a good side plot. But half the time, it's like only one good major storyline going on. So that's always been a Cobra Kai problem. I disagree because there are a lot of good episodes in season 4, in my opinion. I feel like the first 5 episodes, as much as I hate episode 5, I still think it's a good episode because it kind of sets up why Cobra Kai did win on some extent in season 4, and that was because Johnny and Daniel's egos, they couldn't bring themselves together, and at that final moment they thought they could win, they didn't. I feel like episodes 6 and 7 were filler, and 8, 9, and 10 were good. Like I feel like, to me, I really enjoyed the season. Like you can't sit here and say the season was bad because it had filler when that's always been a problem. In season 2, the filler in season 2 was way worse than the filler in season 4. The filler in season 3, way worse than the filler in season 4, in my opinion. Because season 4, to me, the filler to me was just the stuff with Anthony and Kenny. Like, I just didn't care. Or anything, I think there's like stuff with Johnny and the Eagle Fang stuff I didn't care about. Like the whole, I think 6 and 7 is a whole episode about him doing Eagle Fang training, and I didn't care about any of that. I didn't care about it at all. And so, yeah, that was probably the biggest fillers that did stand out to me. But other than that, I really, really enjoyed season 4. But let's finish this off. I think this season could have been better with the drama at school. The adult conflicts made the front seat, in my opinion. This season should have been focused more on the students and their personal beats. If we was talking right there, I'm so tired. That was the problem, really. If you think about it, in like the first, not season 1, but like 2 and 3, they focused way too much on what the teenagers had going on, and that got so annoying. It got annoying. I got tired of just seeing pointless relationships. It was so stupid. I got so tired of that. So tired of that. And I was like, outside of the rivalries happening between them in season 2 and 3, it was just always somebody who's dating who's kissing who's catching feelings for who. Like, it was just stupid. Like, it was nice to see like extra rivalries happening in 2 and 3 outside of who's kissing who, in my opinion. And no, I'm happy that seasons 4, 5, and 6 took a different approach and decided to focus more on characters like Daniel, Johnny, Terry Silver, and John Kreese, and like even if I think John Kreese overstayed his welcome, it's not in Chosen. It's nice to see them focus more on the adults, because at least with them, it's not about who's dating who's kissing who. Like, it's actually like real conflicts happening, and like I enjoy that a lot more. I can understand that the Johnny and Daniel beef, it went on for way too long in season 4. It was stupid, but like, I'm taking that over who's kissing who and who's dating who. Alright, that's the end of it, because she talked about the next season. So, me personally, I enjoyed season 4. Like I said, there are some things I didn't care about, like Sam, her character still annoyed me. Miguel was non-existent in this season. I enjoyed everything with Terry Silver. I enjoyed the idea of the tournament, of if one tournament lose. I like the fact they revealed that Terry Silver was who paid for it. Like, there are so many good things in season 4. So many good things. The only bad stuff to me is the stuff with Kenny and Anthony, them treating Hawk like a background character, the Johnny and Daniel pointless feud, and relationships. I don't care about the romantic relationships at all. Other than that, season 4 to me was a great season. I absolutely enjoyed season 4. Like I said, there's so many good things in it. I definitely think the fights were good. Not as much action as season 3, but there was some. I'm trying to remember all the fights. There was a fight in episode 2. The fight with Daniel and the hockey team. I liked that one. The fight at prom. The tournament fights were good. I like the fight with Johnny and Daniel in episode 5. It still felt like they were holding back a little bit, but I still enjoyed it. So yeah, I really did enjoy season 4. I can understand some of her points. Don't get me wrong. There's some things that are annoying about the characters and like the writing, but to me, I really enjoyed season 4. The pacing was way better. Like, I feel like they didn't, even though you did have those filler side plots, it didn't seem slow. Like, it actually seemed like it was like a storyline in the season. Like, we had something to look forward to. And like, I really did enjoy it. I personally do like season 4. I think it's an overrated season, because compared to seasons like 2 and 3, child, I'll watch season 4 over 2 and 3 any day of the motherfucking week. But I'm gonna let my tablet charge, because my tablet probably is ready to die. I'm going to talk about. I'm gonna be giving a review, not a review, but I'm gonna talk about Karate Kid 2 again, because I recently just watched it again, for like the second and third time on my phone at work and on Netflix, and I think in my review I was way too hard on Karate Kid 2. Don't get me wrong, there's still some things that I wished were taken out, like if the story was a little bit, if the story was a little bit better, I would say. But I think I was way too hard on it, and I want to just talk about why, just like re-giving my second thoughts on the film again after watching it. I still do have some problems. I don't think the Rotten Tomatoes score should be that low. If I had to rate the movie, I'd probably do like a good 60%. It's not better than the first movie. Like, to me, I feel like what the second movie really lacked is just a driven plot. Like, I feel like the second movie just lacked a really driven plot. But I still enjoy it. Like, I still do like it. I can watch it. So later on today, I'm going to be doing that. But as right now, I'm about to charge my tablet to do that. So I'll see you guys next time.